10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. I came extremely close on that one. Yes, I did.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. I got Shapu here with me today. Welcome, Shapu. How are you?
Hi, Jen. Thank you. I've been good. I'm good. And you're looking great tonight.
Oh, thank you.
And I think you heard me the first time because the sound didn't work.
I know we were having some issues backstage when I first brought Shapu on backstage. I must have had the mute button hit again. But anyway, I'd like for everyone, if you can, to send out prayers to my mother and my sister. They're sick. According to the test, it says they have the CV. Whatever they have, it is pretty severe, and it's kicking. It did kick their butts for a few days, and they're starting to come out of it. But my mother really could use some extra prayers, guys. So I would appreciate that if you guys could send some love her way. What I think's happening with that, without saying too much, is I think that they're spraying some type of bacteria through the chemtrails. Could I be wrong? Sure. I could be completely wrong. But it seems to be some type of extreme bacterial infection that's taken place. Now, I'm no doctor. I'm not giving out health and medical advice or anything like that. I'm just giving my opinion. It seems to be a really strong, resistant bacteria that is able to get inside and wreak havoc on your system. Other than that, I don't think it's much else. But if you already have a weakened immune system, or you're elderly, or all these types of things, it's going to hit you extremely hard. If you don't handle stress well, and you already have a lot on your plate, and say you already have a few little health issues, it's going to hit you hard. I had one of these bacterial infections. I'm not going to call them a virus anymore because, I'm just kind of like throwing that word in the trash. But I had one of these back in 2011. It took me a month and a half to get over it. And I never went to the doctor. I never got any antibiotics or anything like that. I had just wrote it out. And it was horrible. And it was the worst that I had ever felt in my whole life. And I was so weak for so long. I thought I was never going to get better. It was horrible. And I know people at that time, when whatever this bacteria was going around, had landed in the hospital and came close to death a few times. Like these are young people even. And this is back when they had the supposed swine flu that was going around. All these names that they put on all this stuff. But basically what it is I think it's a bacteria related, and it's a type of bacteria that can linger for a length of time and is able to spread easily. Because basically this is what all of it is. Any type of infection that you get into your system is bacteria related. That being said, I should really steer off of this topic before they just take the whole show down and I, say something I can't take back. So anyway, I started a little early tonight because I wanted to have some extra time with you guys. It's been a minute since I live streamed, and I had my family in town and everything. So I wanted to start a little early. I got a bunch of tabs open and everything. I know Shapu's got some cool stuff to show. We had a little conversation earlier, and I'm gonna bring it out on camera because I think it's a good thing to discuss it. All of us over the last few months are like hypersensitive and hyper aware of the people we're surrounding ourselves with. We're seeing little things here and there that are making us question different channels and people that we listen to. And all this is good because we do need to hone our discernment. I mean, there was plenty of things that happened to me recently, people that I never thought would turn on me and stab me in the back, showed their true colors. And, I was even shocked. So it can happen. People who we think are one thing turn out to be something completely different. How many times can we say we've seen that happen even over the last 5 years? So a friend of mine, I'm not going to name names or anything, but had a question about Shapu's logo. And his logo is, can you bring up your logo by any chance, Shapu? And we'll just talk about it on screen. So my friend was asking me about the logo. Doesn't know Shapu very well, just from him being on my shows and stuff like that. But was asking me some questions, watching my back for me and stuff. Like, well, maybe you didn't notice this, but I noticed it, and I thought, is this some kind of all-seeing eye reference or something? And I think it's great that we ask these questions and we talk about it and we discuss it, because sometimes I think it can happen to where one little thing will turn you off to a whole channel. Like, say I accidentally made my hands move in a way that looked like a symbol or a sign or something. Or I had something up in the background that somebody thought was suspicious looking, and they tuned out from me from that point on. Look at all the awesome information that they've missed out on over the years. You know what I mean? Because there was people who said I was a sun worshiper because I had a really nice metal working of a sun behind me on my wall. It was wintertime. It's something that I usually have outside. It's decorative. And I didn't want it to get messed up, so I brought it in the wintertime and I hung it on my wall because I love it so much. It's beautiful. But, I'm a sun worshiper, Illuminati confirmed, and all this was years ago, too. So I'm sure that person never tuned back in. But we're going to bring up Shapu's logo.
Well, I love the sun. I'm not a worshiper, but I really like being in the sun.
It's a beautiful piece of art, and I love it. Okay, so here is his logo. Shapu, why don't you go over the logo and explain to us how you came up with this?
Well, I was searching for, the first time I put video, I was researching some other research, and I talked to myself, and I said, like, why don't I call my channel like research my research? And because it goes all around like a circle, you research the research that somebody researched, and it goes around and around. That's all we do. And
it's like the circle of research, the circle of life. You have the circle of research.
Yeah, exactly. So I came up with this logo, and I have put it in front of my videos, and now YouTube has an option that you can put it in the corner of your videos. If you can click on it, you go directly to the YouTube page. So decide to put it in the corner, but in the corner, it's in a small section. It looks, well, you brought it to my attention today that it looks like an eye. I never thought about it before you mentioned it to me, but
Right. And I didn't notice it neither until he mentioned it to me, which I think it's great that he picked up, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's using his discernment, and he came to me with it, and I went right to Shapu with it. And, here's somebody who could have not even said anything to me and would have been like, oh yeah, no, I don't like this guy. She's hanging out when I ain't watching this shit no more. Because he's already told me a few other channels that he doesn't listen to anymore. And like I said, I'm not naming names, but those few channels that he named, I think he's missing out, on a few things. But it's not for me to decide what somebody listens to. This is all our own personal journey of truth, and we need to figure it out for ourselves. I'm never going to tell somebody, I have to admit something too. I'm gonna admit this on camera, and I want to apologize to anybody that I did this to. And Ray, I know you're in the chat here. When Ray and I were going through what we were going through, whatever that was, okay, we had to go through it clearly to come out the other side. And, now we're friends and stuff. We were friends before. We had a little thing, and now it's over. But while it was going on, I had never, up until that point, I had never been attacked for my work that I was putting out to that level, where somebody was constantly talking about me on shows or mimicking me or mocking me. Calling me names and stuff like that. I mean, things that, you would think a grown man wouldn't call a woman. My husband even said, does this guy know that you're married? Like, what? Like, does he not have any respect for you at all? Just like he would say on camera, not you, Ray, but the person you used to have on your show. Like, oh, I'm sure she's a really nice person, but, like she's an idiot for thinking this stone could become a brick, or brick was a stone or something. Or I'm a bottom feeder and all this stuff, and I just repeat other people's information. Like, I have nothing original and all this stuff. Well, anyway, I had made the mistake, and I want to apologize to a few people that I had asked this of them. I had said, why are you hanging out over there on his channel when all they're doing is mocking me and stuff? And when, you know, like, do you realize what they're doing? Like, why are you hanging out over there? Like, I expect your loyalty to me. You know what I mean? And I was wrong for doing that. I was wrong for asking a few different people to, you know, maybe choose sides and made them feel uncomfortable in some way. They had to have felt uncomfortable. I was really hurt, and I was expecting to see people, you know, come out of the woodworks and be on my side, and pretty much they did. But I would go over to Ray's show and see, you know, well, what are they saying today about me? And I would see a lot of the people who were supporting me or say they were supporting me over there chatting it up. And I'm like, like, this doesn't really make sense. Like, so I would call them out on it and stuff. And that was really wrong of me, I guess, to make somebody choose sides when they clearly enjoyed their content or that content. And there was a few people who had said, okay, I can't take anymore. They're going out of their way to pick on you, and it's not right, and you're not here to defend yourself or whatever, so I'm not listening to them anymore. But in the end, I don't have the right to ask anybody to stop listening to somebody else. They have to come to that conclusion on their own. And I was wrong for doing that. I was wrong for saying that. Now, there was one time when I was on Ray's show, and Ray, again, I see you here in the chat, and I had made mention to him that Joey Rocha was in the chat, and you know, you should block him, or he has a wrench or something. I forget exactly what I said, but I wasn't happy to see Joey Rocha there. Now, Boston Ray doesn't know the history of gosh, I can't even think of his name right now. Of what's his name here? The guy I was just mentioning, and I can't believe I got off track like that.
Joey
Rocha. So I get that he would think, you know, straight off, Joey's a cool guy, because he always came off when you first meet him in chats as a cool guy. And then not too far down the road, he flips the script and starts turning into an asshole and saying really fucked up shit in the chats and stuff. So, you know, if Brian Stavely's listening, he knows all about this, because we've already been down the Joey Rocha road. So I was kind of trying to save him from having to experience that. But at the same time, I asked him, you know, kind of to get rid of them, you know, and I had no right to do that, right? You're absolutely right when you said on your show, well, you know, Jen was trying to tell me who to have on my show. I wasn't really actually trying to say, you know, who to have on your show or who to have in your chat, but that guy is definitely trouble. And all he did was cause trouble everywhere he went. He seems really cool in the beginning, like they all do, and then he causes all this trouble and starts acting like a fucking jackwagon. So, but I did want to apologize to anybody who I may have made feel uncomfortable in that situation, like expecting their loyalty to not be over there in these chats and support me and not them or whatever like that. That was completely wrong of me. My ego was hurt. My research and all this stuff, I felt totally shit on at the time. At the same time, it helped me grow and look inward more and have more confidence in the work that I'm putting out. So in hindsight, it was a good thing that all that happened back in February and March, because it really helped me come along in my own personal journey, I have to say. And I just wanted to apologize to anybody that I may have made feel uncomfortable or anything like that in the process of that happening. That being said, I didn't expect to even go down this road, guys. This is just coming out of me. Not planned at all. But again, it's something that we should all take a good look at ourselves sometimes and just be like, yeah, I need to work on myself. I need to figure out where I'm coming from and why am I expecting so much from other people and all this stuff like that. I mean, I have 50 people here watching now. I'm grateful to have one person watching. So thank you and welcome everybody. Well, now it's 49. So maybe we're on the decline now. I don't know.
That's why we are here, Jen, is to learn from our experiences and to be a better person, you know.
Yeah, and that's really what it's all about. You know, is I want to be a better version of myself. I want to be more forgiving. I want to not take things so seriously. I think there's a lot of pent up tension from the last couple of years and what we've all gone through. and we're just so sick of being lied to and seeing everybody else go along with all these lies. And we're, kind of like what says in the Bible, they're going to wear out the saints and stuff. I feel wore out sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like, if I'm not battling the zombies out there, the jackwagon public, it's people in our own community that we're now at each other's throats and stuff like that. It's got to stop. At some point, it's got to stop. I think, maybe it has something to do with 5G and all this negative energy that's all around us all the time. Even what's coming out of my screen at me right now. It's starting to have maybe an impact on us to some extent.
Could be. But you are the master of your own mind, so your mind over matter. That's how I live. But I do not let myself being affected by external things. The less possible, at least.
Yeah, and to be humble too, humility, and to be humble during all this is very important. When my first channel got taken down, I had 15,000 subscribers. I was, riding high on that channel and stuff, very proud of myself and all this work that I had done to build the channel up. And it just took one little thing that knocked me down. And, at the time, I was so devastated. I was crushed. I felt like my house just got burnt down, like arson or something, or I just got kicked in the gut. It was horrible. But I've grown so much from that experience and where everything has led me since then, the hard work that I've had to do to rebuild and take that humility, take that that kick to the teeth, if you will, and move on from it and everything, even though I'm still using their crappy platform. But, and I am self-censoring myself. There's certain things I can't talk about. I will say this, Jennifer Garner, Mr. T all fucking day long. I just watched, and you're going to be like, Jen, why did you watch this? But I watched 13 going on 30 because I had seen a picture of Jennifer Garner from that movie, and I was like, yikes. And I vaguely remember it from back in the day, so I was like, let me put it on. A lot of this stuff I watch for research purposes, slight entertainment purposes, but research purposes. And boy, I tell you what. So if you don't believe me, just watch Peppermint. That's all I gotta say is watch the movie Peppermint, and you'll see what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway.
Yeah, she's playing a man's role in this one, so.
Oh, it's obvious. It's so obvious, especially when they do the short hair on her and stuff.
Yeah.
And the just everything. I can't even get into it. I'll get taken down. So Shapu, do you want to start off with some of your stuff you want to show? Because I'm gonna tackle the pile of natural bricks on the back end of things here. I'm going to give you the floor first.
I have I had clips from things that I posted on YouTube. It's about the art of doublespeak. Do you know?
I saw a little bit of that. How long is that clip?
This one is like 15 minutes.
Okay.
And I have another one from a guy from an ex-CIA operative that just tells what he did for the CIA. And it was, again, controlling the media.
And how long is that clip?
It's about 15 minutes, too. And did you add time to look at my quiz video that I sent you?
I have to look, Chapeau. My husband always says to me, "Did you look at what I sent you?" And I'll be like, "I look at so much stuff, I can't even keep it all straight in my head." All right, hold on. Let's go.
I made like it's like 15 minutes to this one, so it's like a video that we could look together, but we can stop it.
Nature or man-made?
Yeah, natural or man-made.
Yes, natural or man-made. I have not gotten to see it yet, but we should do that one now. That would be good. And let's
Yeah,
stop it along the way.
We can talk and
Absolutely, that sounds good.
all right. So I'll go get it first.
RT says he does like that movie 13 going on 30. Yeah, but if you know what you're looking at, the telltale signs are all over that. I was just putting my head that, because when that blinder comes off, that level of truth is exposed to you, you're like, holy fucking shit, because you're seeing everything with that perception deception blinder pulled off. And you know what you're looking at now. It's the same as melted buildings. It's the same as flat earth. It's the same as the Mandela effect. And what really gets me is hearing people talk about how, oh, well, you discredit my work. You don't even look at it. You did the research and all this stuff. They say all the same stuff about my stuff, but it doesn't apply to them with their stuff. This is hypocritical. Hypocrisy at the highest levels. Because everything that they say about flat earth and the Mandela effect is the same stuff that I could say about Meltology, that they totally discredit my stuff. They don't look at my research. I've done hundreds of hours of live streams on this stuff.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So you see
Yes.
it?
Yes. All right, this is going to be fun.
Yeah. Oh, doesn't go full screen. Yeah, like this. All right.
Bonita Banks, you're awesome. I used to have a girlfriend named Bonita. I went to medical school with her. I went to medical school back in 1995, 96 for medical assistant.
So I'll just pause it as we go along. So I've made like zoom in pictures. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, 16 minutes. But
Okay.
I want you to try to tell me if it's natural, what they say it's natural or man-made, So I'll let this play like for 5 seconds, and then you can see that I will zoom out. And what do you think? This is natural or man-made, Jen? Or anyone?
I think it's man-made. But that's the thing, is that there is nothing natural. And they say there's no straight line.
I'm just saying that what they say it is,
Right. I got you. But what I'm saying too is that they tell us there's no straight lines and there's no right angles in nature. But yet that's all we see. That's what we've been showing.
It was a man-made wall. So again, like this one, is it natural or man-made? Sometimes you can't even tell, and that's the problem if you can't tell. So you can see that this one, is it natural, man-made?
Man-made.
Oh no, it's a natural cliff. That's what they say.
That's what they say.
So I've made this morning. I had prepared this for the last show we did with CFM, because he used to do these kinds of quiz video on his show.
Yeah, he has fun quizzes and stuff.
But I didn't have time. I was just there for the fun Friday, and it was really, really nice too. So in this one, is it natural or man-made?
I'd say they're saying this one's natural.
No, it was man-made.
Oh, look at that.
How hard, you can't even tell, so I made this video for people to think a little bit.
That's where geologists and archaeologists just slam right into each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at that.
One.
And that they say is natural?
Yeah. But we know that's not the case for us. Again, natural and man-made. I wanted to put like a Jeopardy.
Look at that. Yeah.
Natural cliff. But it would be annoying. I put like just like a ambience music. But again, natural and man-made. But this one, look.
Brick.
What is this? It's really weird, huh? But it's melted brick, yeah. And they say it's a natural again.
Wow. Man-made.
Man-made? You're right. It was
Look
hard
at that,
to say,
guys.
but yeah.
58 people here. Welcome, everybody.
I still got to do the one I told you, a wall or a street. I wanted to do like
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that would be really good.
is it a wall or a cobblestone street? Because you can't even tell.
I know one of the pictures from Pompeii that I had showed, because somebody was saying back in the day that the streets of Pompeii is made from lava rock, but then there was this one wall that looked just like the street, and I'm like, so did the street just hop up and jump up onto the wall because it looks exactly the same?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I remember this video. It's exactly the same, the street and the wall.
Yep.
But I didn't put this video yet, but I think I will do it right now and post the link in the chat. Man-made or natural? Oh, it's man-made. Look at this.
This is really good, Chipo.
Oh, this one.
Oh, this looks like Jagger Cave on Mauna Loa.
Okay. Close. Is it natural and man-made? It's natural. it's a volcano.
Oh, of course. A volcano that spits out bricks.
Like you could. Those geologists.
Those freaking geologists. They're as crazy as those astrophysicists.
Wow.
This one is natural.
Yes, you got it. Okay, it's a natural formation.
What they say is natural. We know it's man-made. Look at that.
This one should be easy.
Man-made.
Yeah, you could see like the motor lines. Look at this.
Man-made melted.
Yeah, exactly. And there's some that are easy, but some are you don't even, you couldn't know, like this one.
Yeah.
It was a structure. Yeah.
It's like when I showed the interior of Vesuvius, and I showed that one part of their caldera wall. And I said on that video, if I just showed you this section, you would tell me it was melted brick. And then you zoom out and you see you're in the caldera of Vesuvius, which isn't a volcano. So,
yeah, exactly. Like this one.
Oh, I hear your cat.
Yeah, she just woke up.
Man-made. Look at that. Wow. Look at that, guys.
Yeah, it's so. I don't know the word I want to use.
This one they're saying it's natural.
This one? Don't remember. No. It's man-made.
Man-made.
With bricks.
It is bricks.
Yeah. And this one? Is it bricks or rocks? But we know it's the same.
Oh, it's a cave. It's a cave made out of brick.
Yeah. Because that's what you're going to show her.
This one they're going to say is natural. Naturally melted.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. They say it's natural, but it was a structure once. No, this one's hard.
This one they're saying is natural. Nope, man-made. Right next to something that looks natural.
Natural.
It's supposed to be natural.
Yeah.
Oh, meow. The Cave of Wonders, Sarah says. Bonita said your double speak was a good one. We're going to play that next.
Yeah, saw it. Yeah, it's 15 minutes, but it goes so fast because the information is so good.
This one they're going to say is natural.
Yes. And even with geologists.
I don't know. What's this is going to be? Man-made?
Oh yeah, you're gonna see it. It's a pyramid.
Oh, it's a pyramid.
But it's a lesser known pyramid that they don't show because it's so melted. Did you see it?
Oh, yeah. Steps are melted.
Yeah. Look at
Yeah, I
this.
see it. It's run down over itself in that one spot.
Yeah. Oh, this one we've already seen. It's all bricks.
Yep. Capilicious, I do think that mud flood and meltology go hand in hand. I do. I think that the mud flood is part of the buildings that melted, mixed with water of some sort that was involved.
The Meltology explains the mud flood, because the mud flood has no really real explanation.
Mm-hmm. Mud had to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, I know there's liquefaction that could be a part of it, and I'm sure, things did liquefy on a certain level, but I think there was more of the flow of building ash flowing around with whatever type of cooling event that took place maybe after the heat event. Look at this. This is completely cooked out. Wow.
So it took me, man, this morning I thought it would be faster, but I couldn't find a better way to do it. So I had to do it all by hand and then cut sections and make a video. It took me.
You should try to use Power Director when you do this stuff. It's a lot easier.
Yeah, I have a program that to put pictures up together, but I have like a screen recorder, so I just zoom in on the pictures and then pull back and then cut the parts that I didn't want in it.
Mm-hmm.
Took me a couple hours, more than I was supposed to go put up a pool today again, and yesterday. Oh, Jan, it's a chance that we didn't do a show yesterday because I missed some power. The power just cut off for like 5 hours.
Oh.
So it's a good thing.
Let's pause that there for a second. Can you go back to that?
Yeah.
Okay, so say if they didn't say that this was man-made, look at it. It looks like a heap of bricks just laying all over the place, right? And this is kind of like what we're going to see when I show you this spot in Israel that we're going to look at called Sawmill Park, which they say are natural bricks, naturally formed bricks. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the story is
It's ridiculous. Wow, look at this. Again, you can see the layering everywhere. You can see it in what is clearly a melted building, and you can also see it in what they're telling us is natural. You can see this layering everywhere.
Yeah.
Wow. They're saying this is natural, I bet.
Yeah. But look at this.
It's a melted building. Again, with the layering, you see it everywhere.
just showed you like natural again.
Now, see, if you saw something like that underwater, they would just say it was like a coral reef or something.
Yeah.
Wow. Are they saying this is man-made?
It's the same stuff that we just showed at the previous picture, but oh, it's just a wall, a Roman wall.
So, see, the more muffed up it is, but yet it still holds its structure, they'll say it's older and fit it into the timeline. Well, it's from the Roman era or, you know, the Bronze Age and stuff like that. I could see the heat came up from the bottom on this really well.
Still see some bricks. Oh my god.
Okay, so they're going to say that this is natural, but again, we can see the brick layering. They tell us that these are sedimentary layers. Nothing to see here. Move on.
But
it's a building.
You know, just
Jason Starr, everything was brick because bricks, listen to me. Bricks were supercapacitors. They stored energy. And this was a free energy grid system that got completely fried and most of it melted down. Look at that brick. Wow.
You think it's brick? Do you think they say it's brick?
Well, they're going to say it's natural, I bet.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here. Just a natural wall.
Yeah, just a natural wall.
Look at this natural wall God made for us. Isn't it awesome? Wow. You could see that that was some type of tower or conical roof.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. You can see how it had the different layers of brick. Wow.
It's almost done. 3 minutes left.
This they're saying is natural, I bet.
Yes, you got it.
I'm going to say they're saying this is natural. Looks like something fell over.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I put it right there. Look.
Huh. Yep.
From there, yeah. Oh, this one.
Are they going to say this is natural too? Oh,
no.
It's part of a structure. Man-made. Everything has right angles, perfect rectangles and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Man-made. See, now look, who's going to build the wall like that? You got perfect brick down the bottom. You got brick arches, and then you got these big boulder-looking things just slapped in there in different spots. No, absolutely not. The brick went block. That's what happens there. The brick went block.
Yeah, you can even see here. These were all bricks. Exactly like you see in every castle that's still made of bricks. You know?
It's a product of heat damage.
You think that someone will put only one brick right here? You know, it's
ridiculous.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
And the only way they explain this stuff is that it's really old. Or it was like muffed up in some war or something.
Yeah.
Natural, they're saying.
I agree with Kim Ray. She said, I believe God made this whole place for us.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, wasn't Adam made from the clay of the earth?
Yeah, that's what I
These
said.
bricks are made from the clay of the earth. Maybe it was originally designed by the creator and already built up for us. Okay. Because now we seem like strangers in the land. Okay. It's like we have to fend for ourselves. We got to build our shelters. We got to hunt our food and all this stuff like that. But see, it seems like at one time everything was already provided, it was already made, you know. And then we always say, well, who made all these bricks? Who's building all this stuff with all these bricks? If you think of it in terms of the creator created all this, it would kind of register a little easier with you, because clearly the creator, the day of judgment, the X Factor event melted all this stuff.
Yeah. Can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh, it's okay now.
Okay.
I didn't know why you cut off for a second.
I think I just stopped talking there for a second.
Because I don't see you. You know, I can see you, but on it's
So that they're saying is natural. You can clearly see it's a building.
Oh, this one, yeah, they say it's natural. Yeah.
I mean, it looks like the side of a castle or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, just some more natural brick laying around.
Yeah, these natural brick with mortar lines. But they say it's a natural wall, like you said. So this was, thank you for playing. But I will post it.
Yes, Aurora says we didn't need food back then. It was a spiritual realm. I agree. I think that there was a completely different way of being back then. We're not being anything now. We're not even doing anything. As a matter of fact, I had this conversation with my mother on the phone the other day. It's like, what do we really do with ourselves? I've always felt like we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing here. But what it is that we're actually supposed to be doing here, I'm not sure of. But I'm definitely sure that what we're doing is not what we're supposed to be doing. So it's this weird kind of in between kind of place where it's like, okay, you get up, you go to work every day, you come home. Hopefully you can get to go out on the weekend and maybe go out to eat and shop. So you got eating and shopping and maybe like, some fun stuff here and there or whatever. And then it's like, mind melding entertainment throughout the week to get you between coming home from work and taking care of the kids and who knows what else. I don't know. I don't do all that crap anymore. My kids are growing out of the house. So, but it always felt like, we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing here, but I don't know exactly what it is. I just know that we would be living completely different. And I definitely think that when we're at a higher elevation, a higher spiritual level of being, that we don't need to consume as much as we do now. Just saying.
It's used to be like for the pleasure of it. That's it. Not for consuming and consuming and consuming, just to, because you have all the energy around you. We could gather the energy from anything, the air, water, everything around us.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's more like how do you say, they want to sell you food, they want you to eat, to buy food. That's it.
So, Camera, I agree here, but I would word it myself. I would say praise God, because anything that is divine does not require worship or sacrifice. If it's divine, it doesn't need all that stuff. Praise Jesus, praise God, or Yahoo. I don't even know what name to call God or Jesus anymore, because we've been lied to so much. I'm just saying, Yeshua. I know people use different names and stuff, but as long as you're not sucking Satan's cock, you're good.
As long as the intention is
Yes.
good. The name, it can be anything. Some people just fight over a name, but it can be anything, as long as your intention when you say it or you pronounce it it's the good one.
Yeah.
Not
I don't even think I don't even think we used to speak language like we do now, use our mouths the way we use them. I think that they used signs and symbols. That's why we see these signs and symbols everywhere, and we don't know what they mean. But they had a different way of communicating. They probably could read each other's minds. When you get elevated in consciousness and you're on those next levels of spirituality, these senses come online and you can communicate with each other. If I can read your mind and you can read my mind, we cannot lie to each other. So you can cross lying right off the list, okay? Exactly. That would cut in half all the crap that's going on in this world. Okay.
That's why we can't anymore, because people have so much thing that they don't want others to know, that reading their minds, it could just destroy you, because you don't want to know. But people accumulate resentment towards others, and they don't just let it go and tell what's wrong, and they keep it inside them, and this is what makes most of them ill or not healthy. That's the number one thing that causes you health issues. But there's no doctor that talks about this. They want to sell you medicine.
And, I was thinking about what you said about, how when this X Factor event, this cyclical nature of this X Factor thing that takes place, God's judgment, whatever you guys want to call it, okay, it comes around. And apparently it has a huge effect on the beings that are here at the time. And I think it could either be extremely positive or extremely negative, depending upon the collective of the beings that are here at the time. Now we're here now. And if there's another one coming and we're trapped in this trauma-based mind control, this fear-based mind control, everything's negative, everybody's lying, cheating, stealing, stabbing each other in the back and all this other crap. There's no way that it's going to be a good experience and we're going to level up during this. We're going to actually regress even worse if we can, if that's even possible. I'm not going to hit rock bottom yet, but if we were in a really good state of mind, if we were in a loving, peaceful state, living in the attitude of gratitude, helping each other, love thy neighbor and all this stuff like that. And of course, we knew that this was coming because nothing was hidden from us. And we knew that, we had to be in this state, and we were already in this state and moving further towards a loving environment and all surrounding abundance and love. And then this cycle happens. It would take us further up the spiritual chain. We wouldn't just get through it and survive. We would actually level up with that energy. But instead, we're getting impacted, we're getting destroyed, we're getting meltified, we're getting knocked back to the proverbial Stone Age, if you will, okay, with this amnesia that nobody remembers what happened to us, some traumatic event from the past that has given us amnesia. We're so traumatized from it, right? I used to hear all this stuff in the past with all this old research that I used to do and stuff. And or how we've come here and we have this amnesia and we don't remember, this, some people say it was the flood event, but then you put that so far back in time, they'll say, well, that was over 5,000 years ago or something, which then our brains are trained to look at it and file it away on the timeline that it was way, way, way back then. But it was actually not that long ago. And then, one way to really keep somebody off their game is if they don't know the rules of the game, the parameters of the game board, the pieces, who the players are. You're going to fuck up. And this is why they want us in the state of mind that we're in now. I feel like they came through the last event that took place. The last one that came through, they made sure that they came out on top and they were able to piggyback that event. And now, I'm pretty sure they know when the next one's coming or have a pretty good idea of the time frame and when it's going to happen. And I think they've been preparing for quite some time. Of course, you hear about all these underground bases and tunnels and all this stuff like that, and under the ocean bases and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think that if they're lucky, some of them will survive, and maybe some of them will climb back out to the surface and figure all this out again and start over with the control mechanisms over us and everything. But I don't want to be around for that. But imagine how beautiful it could be. What if we were like anticipating this event coming, and we were so excited about it, and we just couldn't wait for it to come, and because we knew that it was going to be even better afterwards, instead of fearing it and thinking, oh my God, everything's going to melt, we're all going to be destroyed, we're going to have God's wrath upon us. You know what I mean? This whole scenario. It's just the way I see it, guys. I'm just kind of just letting it all just fly out of my mouth right now.
You cannot live in fear, If you
can't.
live in fear, you live in some kind of prison of your own making. You cannot fear everything, If you, they blast you with everything from every side every day.
Every day, all day long, 24/7, they are hitting us with something. They can't stop for even a second, because if they let off for even a second,
we will see.
We'll see it.
Yeah.
We'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll rise above it. That's how powerful we are, that they have to work this fucking hard 24/7 on every front that we've ever covered over all these last, well, for me, 15, 16 years now. They can't stop for even a second. The propaganda machine has to keep going. The entertainment has to keep going. The consume has to keep going. Everything, no matter how bad and shitty it gets, all these things have to keep going, because if not, people are going to see right through the bullshit.
Yeah.
All right.
This. We're talking about propaganda, the propaganda machine. I got this video. It's like it's 15 minutes.
Yes, I hear you. What you're saying, Shapu. Aurora, I agree. I can't even take the word safe anymore.
Safe.
Throw that word out for your safety.
Yeah, double speak and it's both things. It's all crazy. Control has been there for so long.
They know exactly what they were doing. I don't know how many times they've done this. It seems like we've come from a state of being that was, elevated spiritually, and then somehow it got corrupted. Maybe you could say that's the end of the millennial reign, and then they went wherever they went, and whoever was here left, came out on top of that X Factor event, started sucking Satan's cock, rode out the short season, and then here we are. Well, this short season is almost over, guys. It's like literally almost over. So, people sit there and say, you better get right with God and all this stuff. You better start thinking about it, because it's, and when they say in Revelation, I think they say, but for the elect's sake, the time will be shortened. I think that may, for me, it seems to mean like people like us, people who see the truth of the matter and want to be in that good state of being. And we're trying so hard, surrounded by a sea of ignorance and despair and everything, trying to rise above that and keep our spirituality high and positive, that we would be the elect. And for our sake, the time will be shortened, meaning, we're going to stay here and suffer with these people. We're out of here. And for me, that's what I have to look forward to, because I don't want to stay here. This isn't no heaven on earth. This is hell on earth, what they've created. And it's only going to get worse. No bueno.
Yeah. But you got to see it as a heaven. You got to create your own heaven around you,
That's what I do. That's what I do every day. Even when I go out into the world, I used to get very aggravated over the last 2 years. People have heard my car rants left and right. But now I just go out and I stay in my own little spiritual bubble of love. And I don't let anything, everything just bounces off of it. And I move through society that way in my own little, safe zone, I guess you might say, or whatever. I don't engage. But then, I will engage. God will bless me with running into somebody who thinks just like me. Just when I think I'm completely alone in this sea of craziness, puttering my way through a store, shopping, get what I need to get the fuck out and go home, I'll run into somebody, or I'll hear them say something. I'll be like, oh yeah. And it's like, oh, you're awake. Okay. And then it's like, and I thank God for that every time when I'm walking away from that person. I'm like, thank you so much for that blessing. Because, you know, I don't feel so alone when I'm out there. And as we all do sometimes.
Yeah, Jen, you're the only person that I can talk about this thing around me, you know. Nobody understands. Some kind of, but you know, they still live in this world, you know.
Yeah. Yep. And I just want to say one thing. Meltology is a real thing, guys. This is one of those truths that has been kept from us. It's been right in front of our faces this whole time. Just like flat earth has been in our faces this whole time. And we are meant to see these remnants as a reminder. You need to do it right this time, because if not, that's going to fucking happen to your ass. That alone is a good enough reason for those motherfuckers to hide this shit from you. Jackwagon geologists, jackwagon archaeologists, jackwagon fucking historians. They're all working together, whether they know it or not, to hide the truth from you and themselves. And this is one of the biggest truths out there. And I'll just say right now, when all these other jackwagons out there who are acting like this isn't real and this is all muffed up and we're crazy over here sniffing glue and, you know, too stupid to live or whatever, I want a huge apology from all of you. Because I don't need it, but it would be nice. Because more and more people are starting to see it. You can't unsee it once you see it. And once you see it, you're going to fucking see it everywhere. So there's that.
There's that. Yeah, exactly.
All right, Strapu. So do you want to get into that other clip of doublespeak? And then I think I'm going to start showing my stuff after that.
The doublespeak one or the CIA one? Which one do you prefer? The CIA, it's like propaganda in the news and the newspapers, and the doublespeak, it's like our government changed the words.
Yeah, let's do the doublespeak one in case anybody hasn't seen that one yet. Right. And then the other one, if you can, when you get a chance, we'll drop the link to that in the chat for both of them in the chat.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, thought I had it. Okay, that's right.
What is doublespeak? Doublespeak is
sorry. I will share and I will mute, so I won't be able to
touching my nose. LOL. What's that mean, Steffi? I don't know. I get an itchy nose sometimes. And my mom says it means I'm going to get in a fight. And when your ears are burning, somebody's talking about you, all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
All right, so you have to mute out, I think. Did you hit audio?
Yes.
Okay.
William Lutz, what is doublespeak?
Doublespeak is language design with responsibility.
Yeah, there's a little echo.
Did I mute? Sorry.
That's okay.
Unpleasant appear pleasant. Language designed to evade responsibility, make the unpleasant appear pleasant, the unattractive appear attractive. Basically, it's language that pretends to communicate but really doesn't. It is language designed to mislead while pretending not to.
Is it done consciously?
Oh, yes, very consciously. Doublespeak is not a slip of the tongue or a mistaken use of language. It's exactly the opposite. It is language used by people who are very intelligent and very sophisticated in the use of language and know that you can do an awful lot with language.
Who's the worst offender?
In sheer bulk?
Yes.
Sheer numbers of examples? The government. If we count government from the local level all the way up to the federal level, I had to stop writing the chapter on government doublespeak. It was going to take over the whole book. But interestingly enough, and this was a revelation in doing the book, about a half a step behind comes business with a tremendous amount of doublespeak.
How long has the government been using doublespeak?
I think of government as the third oldest profession And probably from the moment government was instituted, doublespeak came with it. I cite examples from the 5th century BC in Greece, Julius Caesar, when he pacified Gaul. Of course, Nazi Germany thrived on doublespeak. So it's been around for quite a while.
When did you first get interested in this?
In 1978, I became head of the Committee on Public Doublespeak. And in 1980, I started editing the quarterly review of doublespeak. And that's when I became very interested in it, simply because as editing, I have all the examples of doublespeak sent to me. And so I wade through them all.
What got you interested in it?
My interest in rhetoric. I did, in my PhD, I did work in rhetoric. And I was interested in rhetoric. And in 1977, I published a textbook called The Age of Communication, which was a little different at the time. I tried to examine the rhetoric of television, radio, the mass media, advertising, taking Aristotle's classical rhetoric and apply it to modern media. I had a lot of fun doing that. And as a result of that textbook, I was asked to join the committee. And I saw rhetoric and language coming all together in doublespeak in an interesting way.
Universities also have a problem with doublespeak, don't they?
Oh, yes. I continually bite the hand that feeds when I cite Rutgers, and at least every issue I have an example from Rutgers University. One of my favorite, we don't have a physical education department at Rutgers. We have a department of human kinetics.
Why?
Well, I also point out in my book that people in physical education have come up with all of these different terms because they've gone professional. They now have their own journals, so they have their own academic jargon. And as the dean at Minnesota, who wanted to change the name of his physical education school, said, we're not taken seriously unless we have a name like this. We can't get the grants. We can't publish the articles.
How long have you been at Rutgers?
Since 1971.
What do you teach?
I teach a variety of courses in the English department, but I teach rhetoric, linguistics, and some Victorian literature. And I also teach a survey course that's required of all students. We start with the Iliad and the Odyssey and work our way up.
Is there any example in history, I mean, ancient history and literature of doublespeak?
Yes, one I cite just as a passing example is Thucydides in the 5th century BC in the Peloponnesian War. During the war, there was a very vicious civil war in Athens at that time. And Thucydides points out that at that time, the very language itself became corrupted to their own ends. Acts of cowardice became acts of great bravery. Traitorous deeds towards friends became patriotic acts. And he cites the whole list. And it's interesting that Thucydides cites this corruption of language as the ultimate in horror that occurred during that civil war.
Do you ever personally find yourself using doublespeak?
Oh, yeah. When I was head of the department, I had to engage in doublespeak. You have to write recommendations. You have to write personnel evaluation forms. I had to pitch for more money. And so you use the doublespeak of bureaucracy as anyone else. If I were a bureaucrat who would function within the bureaucracy using straight language, I wouldn't be taken seriously. It's a sort of ritualistic use of language.
Are you in this whole world of doublespeak because you want to get rid of it?
Oh, yes. I don't think you'll ever get rid of it. I don't think we can. It is inherent in the function of language to use language as a weapon or as a tool to manipulate other people. However, I think there are two things we can do. First of all, we can all become much more aware of this language. We should be aware of it so that we can at least be defensive and defend ourselves so that we're not misled through it. But secondly, there are times when we simply cannot tolerate this language. When we talk about important public issues of national policy, we should not use doublespeak as a nation. We should not use it ourselves. We should not allow the politicians who are speaking to us to use it. Language that way can be terribly corrupting in a society and can mislead all of us. And in a democracy that depends upon the active participation of its citizens, it can lead to cynicism and resentment and a withdrawal from the political process.
What's the most often asked question?
The chapter on food and food doublespeak. Everyone goes after that one about, is it true that you can put sugar free on a product and still have sugar in it? Is probably the one question I've been asked most often, because people simply can't believe that happens.
How can it happen?
Because sugar-free simply means they haven't added table sugar or cane sugar to it. They can add mannose, fructose, any of the syrup sweeteners, and still call it sugar-free.
So, you know, when you eat something that's sugar-free, there's sugar in it.
Oh, yes. And by the way, I found out in a radio interview when they had people in the audience calling in, a man called in and said, do you mean that there's sugar in there? I said, well, yes, there's sugars in that food. He said, well, I'm a diabetic, and my wife makes sure she buys only the sugar-free. I said, you can't eat those. You have to use only the dietetic because that's governed by law. Sugar-free isn't. Here's a man who was threatening his health through this kind of false labeling. It was
And that's happening every day, all day long.
Non-affluent and deep chilled chickens, the double speak of everyday life, everyday living. Excuse me. What is a therapeutic misadventure?
I will tell you the incident, and then you can figure it out. In 1982, during a cesarean operation, the anesthetist turned the wrong knob and killed the mother and child. The hospital called this a therapeutic misadventure. 3 weeks ago in Los Angeles, according to the Los Angeles Times, in a series of incidents that the pathologist called incredible stupidity and incompetence, the surgeons killed the patient. It included slitting the patient's throat during surgery. This was called a therapeutic misadventure.
How about economically non-affluent?
That's what the president
What the F, bro?
of the City University of New York called the poor students attending the City University. They came from economically non-affluent families.
Deep chilled chickens.
Frank Perdue filed a complaint with the Department of Agriculture that his competitors were selling frozen chickens as fresh. And the Department of Agriculture investigated and said,
Fresh frozen.
no, granted the chickens are packed in ice at a temperature of 28 degrees Fahrenheit. These are not frozen chickens. These are merely deep chilled chickens and can therefore be sold as fresh. I suggested that we pack the same Department of Agriculture bureaucrats in ice. When they hit 28 degrees, we might ask them if they're deep chilled or frozen. Well, Orwell in his two works, his essay, Politics in the English Language, and then really giving full-blown thought to that essay.
Pause it right there. I just want to say real quick, back on my old channel, the original one that I had, I used to cover aspartame. And when, you know, physicians tell you that you got to eat sugar-free, that people go for the sugar-free items and, you know, the aspartame and how bad that is for you and all that stuff. So I used to chew juicy fruit bubble gum back in the day. It was the only gum that I liked to chew. And one day, and this was years ago, 2010 maybe, I'm standing in line with this pack of gum, you know, waiting my turn. And I look and I read the package. And sure enough, there's aspartame in juicy fruit bubble gum. Now, this is not a sugar-free item. It has sugar in it. Why the hell is aspartame there? Now, you can go right now, if you have juicy fruit in your house or you're at the store, pick up a pack and read it. That is not sugar-free gum, and it has aspartame in it. So I called Wrigley. And I filmed it. If anybody's been with me for a very long time, you'll remember that. And I called them and I said, you know, why is this aspartame in your gum? And they're like, oh, we put it in there for the taste, to add to the taste. I said, well, it tasted just fine. I don't know what you're trying to do. Are you trying to make it taste like shit? Because that's how they make aspartame. They feed E. coli a certain toxin and it defecates out aspartame. They put it through a methylation process. That's all it is. There's no reason for aspartame to be in juicy fruit bubblegum, except for nefarious reasons. Okay, that being said, you can continue.
Novel 1984 addressed the importance of language in society and the control and manipulation of language to control and direct society. I think the most important point in 1984 is that power grows not out of the barrel of a gun. Power grows not out of the thought police and rule by terror. It grows out of the power of language in that novel. Mm-hmm. The revolutionary act committed by Winston Smith right at the beginning of that novel is to keep a diary. In keeping a diary, any person who keeps a diary uses language to communicate with the self. You're talking to yourself and you're thinking through words about the world around you and about how you feel. That's why diary is such a revolutionary act in 1984, because you are reasserting personal control over language. Then at the end of the novel, to parallel that scene, when Winston Smith has been found out and O'Brien, his torturer and guide, says to him, what is reality? Reality is not external. Reality exists not in the mind of the individual, which soon perishes, but in the mind of the party, which is collective and immortal. What the party says is reality is real. And how else can the party do that? Except by language. The party has taken control of language and has taken it away from the individual. And that's the power, because those in power who control language control the way we see the world.
This just reminded me of the Bible where it says, let us go down and confound their language. Just saying. This is what came to my mind right now, but we can continue.
Let's talk about political parties just for a second. Let me name three for you and tell me which one is the worst abuser of doublespeak. The Communist Party, the Democratic Party, or the Republican Party in history.
I would say I'd give them all three. They're right in
all three
of politics. I would say the Communist Party would be leading the other two simply because under the time of Stalin and others, language was used to justify, mass murder of millions of people, exactly the same as the Nazis did. Use a language to justify murder. But as we see, any politician in power starts using doublespeak. The Democrats did. Right? I love Jimmy Carter's comment on the failed raid to free the hostages in Iran. He called it an incomplete success. He did that without even thinking about it. He was just automatically using that kind of language. But we had used language in Vietnam to justify our actions in Vietnam. The Republican Party, once attaining power, has used doublespeak to justify and explain and silence their critics. But I don't see that as being different from any other politician. What Orwell says in Politics in the English Language is, it is clear that the corruption of language ultimately has political and economic causes. But in 1947, he published Politics in the English Language, an essay, which, by the way, is the most reprinted essay in the English language. It's just endlessly reprinted, in which he warned about the corruption of thought through language. The examples he used all came from Stalinist Russia and Nazi Germany. He had, during the Second World War, served in the British Ministry of Propaganda or Information and was introduced to the inside of the propaganda process. And he wrote 1984 as a novel of the future in which, given the growth of the power of communications and the sophisticated use of language, totalitarian governments would base their power upon the control of minds through language, and that the language was deliberately opaque to give special tax breaks to a lot of people and corporations. That's tens of billions of dollars worth. We think that that's important, that people know about that this language is being used to take money out of their pockets because somebody's going to have to make up for that missing tax revenue. So we're looking for people who contribute to honesty in language, clarity in language that way.
Okay,
I think their new term,
award.
I think their new term for this is called quantum language. And I heard that the vice president, what the heck is her name? Anyway, whatever her name is, that jackwagon, that she is a student of this quantum language. She's very well versed in it, I had heard. And this goes back to the Hegelian dialectic and all that. They've been using this forever on us. We get trapped by our language. They have us saying hello on the phone. Hell. Oh, hell. Hello. Oh, hell. So they're not saying heaveno, which is why I say hola when I answer the phone, or I say, heaveno. But we can continue.
Same group give out?
Yes, the same group. We vote each year, and from the nominations that we receive, and we try to give the award as a symbolic award to an American public figure who has used doublespeak that has consequences of some kind on public policy or a public issue. In 1989, we gave it to Exxon Corporation for calling the 35 miles of shoreline in Alaska environmentally clean. when reporters pointed out that there was still oil all over the place, an Exxon spokesman said, well, clean doesn't mean that every oil stain is off every rock. It means the natural inhabitants can live there. As Orwell said, it's political language, and political language tends to, in the 20th century, to be this kind of misleading and deceptive language. Whether
And let's pause it again.
By the way, the legacy.
They went above and beyond this type of doublespeak over the last 2 years, guys. I mean, look at all the new terms and words that they came up with, all these new, just this rhetoric, like he was saying, the rhetoric that was being used during this whole last 2 years on this. It's frightening, but we need to be aware of it because they're going to continue to use it. And as we get closer and closer to leveling up, and they want us to level down or stay where we're at, they're going to continue it's going to go hypersonic with the stuff that they're going to pull on us. It's like literally they're going to go throw everything at us, including the kitchen sink, because they want us to stay where we're at and not level up. Because if that happens, then they only have themselves to feed off of. They don't have us anymore because we'll be out of here. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if we just blink out of here, leave our physical bodies and move on to a higher vibrational frequency of spiritual, of your spirit being. I don't know what it looks like, but what I'm saying is that, you know, once their game doesn't work on anybody anymore, once we stand up and walk away from it, you know, what are they going to do? They can't do anything. They just have to feed on themselves or whoever's left. But we're going to continue. This is really good stuff.
See from the Johnson administration was the language of Vietnam and the language of the poverty program, which stopped calling people poor and started calling them disadvantaged, and stopped talking about slums and ghettos, but the inner city. I mean, that's a heritage of doublespeak from the Johnson administration.
Let me go back to when we started this conversation. I asked you, I think in the beginning, is this done on purpose and with calculation? And you said yes.
Yes. In fact, I cite a couple incidents in the book where I can document it was done. One is revenue enhancement. They had a meeting in the Office of Management and Budget. They said, we need a phrase to replace tax increase. They came up with revenue enhancement. When Lawrence Kudlow, the economist, was asked why they did that, he said, because there's no better way to sell.
I remember one of their double speaks, quantitative easing. How about that one? I remember that one. That was getting thrown out left and right. Quantitative easing, quantitative 1, 2, 3, and all this stuff. It's so ridiculous. Oh, too big to fail. Too small to save, but they're too big to fail. Yeah, all that stuff. It's for your safety and security. Sit down and shut up. All right, go ahead.
Policy than the euphemistic route. He was quite proud of the fact that they came up with that phrase. And peacekeeper as the name for the MX missile. Again, Robert McFarland chaired the committee meeting in which he facetiously suggested that they couldn't name it Widowmaker, could they? So instead they came up with Peacemaker. But later, President Reagan misread his cue cards and said Peacekeeper. And since it was a televised speech, it became the Peacekeeper. And it was a name that was deliberately designed to make a nuclear missile sound nice.
Does it work?
Yes. Oh, of course it works.
I mean, most people don't hear it.
They will hear some of it, but not all of it. One of my favorite examples from this past year is the Resource Development Park that they were going to establish in Kansas City until the good folks in the neighborhood were going to put the...
So not only do they have all this double speak going on, I saw Awesome Austin had on his show recently a subliminal from, I forget what year it was. I want to say the 60s, early 60s, where they're singing the American anthem. And the words are coming on the screen, but faintly behind the words, ahead of the words a little bit, is a whole nother thing that's being read, like, you know, obey, consume, fear the government, fear God is your government, or government is God, and all this stuff like that. So not only do you have all the doublespeak, all the propaganda, you have all the subliminals, you have all, they are working so hard 24/7 for hundreds of years, guys, trying to keep us subdued and lulled down into this baseline of lower spirituality and intelligence, to where you're so lulled down in your consciousness that, you know, they can run right over you. You wouldn't even know it. And that's what's happening. And that's what's happened over the last 2 years. And, you know, God only knows what they have lined up for us. If they can pull that off, God only knows what they got lined up next. So, go ahead.
Park asked, what is a resource development park? Do you know what a resource development park is? In Kansas City, it's a dump. They were going to put a dump in their neighborhood until somebody asked what it meant. They deliberately invented that phrase to try and slip a dump into the neighborhood without anyone noticing it till it was too late.
We had just
These
one
were
last
sick
question. Your
motherfuckers.
favorite doublespeak word or phrase?
The Department of Defense, which until 1947 was the Department of War.
The book is called Doublespeak, and it's written by William Lutz, published by Harper & Row, in your bookstores. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was good. That was really, really good. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was really good when I saw this video. It's oh wow, this is golden.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put it up. Yeah.
And especially
But
when
the
you
other
show it.
one,
It
Go
was
ahead.
so long ago, and you know, it was 1989. I was 19 years old. I was actually pregnant with my first son, Christopher, when I was 19. And then you see things like from the 60s, like what Austin showed, and then, you know, things that go even further back, like those black and white movies of, you know, people traveling to the moon before anybody ever even heard of NASA and all this stuff, this predictive programming that's been taking place. They started day one after they started repopulating with the X Factor event. This is when they started recolonizing, re-educating, starting the new narratives, relocating and renaming everything. This is why we have places like York and New York and Jersey and New Jersey, and you got Montana and Utah over by the Sodom and Gomorrah site.
Yeah.
Which we found that on a map not too long ago. But Chapu, I think we're going to take a break real quick, a little bathroom break. I'm going to put a song on, and then we'll come back and we'll get into some of my stuff that I have lined up. All right, sound good?
Yes.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I got 52 people here. I expect to see 52 people here when I get back because
Or
you
more.
don't
Or more.
or more. Yeah. You don't want to miss what's coming up. All right, guys, we'll be right back.
This song about the Babylon system. Listen to the lyrics of this song. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. We be loving unity. Yeah, this is time. We be loving unity more than hate and jealousy. Yeah, this is time. We need education more than bullets and bombs. Now this is time. We need to care for the young and old, more than silver and gold. Now this is time. We have to wake up and change the world. As well as talks of 2,000 years of hypocrisy, ego-driven leaders in pursuit of property, power and wealth and fame, oppressing and murdering, killing all in God's name. Iniquity spread across the nation. Humanity is into separation. In the midst of a darkest hour, we rise to reclaim our power. In this time, we love and unity more than hate and jealousy. Yeah. In this time, we need education more than bullets and bombs. We say we not give up, not give up. Not give up. Oh no, we not give it. Not give it. Not give up. They achieve their mission using dirty politicians, brainwash education, war on religion, racial division, food with no nutrition. Hey, this is the Babylon system. Their intention to use all their wicked invention, all the propaganda promoting consumerism, and silent distraction, only misdirection to break high and high connection. But if you want come follow me, make you know know say what I want. This is how I get you ready for the Armageddon. I'm in for the revolution. Power by love and compassion. Cause if we go at them with weapons, then they have more guns. Go at them with money, then they have more funds. With unification, then time soon done. We owe to our daughters and sons in a decent time. Loving unity, more than hate and jealousy. Yeah. At this time, we need education, more than bullets and bombs. At this time, we need to care for the young and old, more than silver and gold. At this time, we have to wake up and change the world. At this time, we need love and unity, more than hate and jealousy. Yeah. At this time, we need education, more than bullets and bombs. And at this time, we need to care for the young and old, more than silver and gold. And at this time, we have to wake up and change the world.
All right, guys, we are back. Let's see what we got here for comments. Got 53 people here. That's awesome. Oh, we got Lion of Tataria here. That's a new name. I've never seen that name before. Welcome. Welcome. Let's see. RT's in the house. Jolly Man. I don't think I recognize that name. Sarah's here. Steffi Davis. Fruit Kiss. Benita. A dog named Boo. Speaking of Boo. Let me go over here. Oh, let me get my stuff. Hold on. First off, I have my Meltology shirt here on the chair. If anybody's interested in one, see the description below. A dog, what's it say? A dog named Boo? Okay, so my dog's name was Boo, Boo Bear, and this is him. He's in this little box now. I know. I opened it up recently and took a look. He died in 2018, but I just opened it recently. And this is my Lucky dog. My Lucka Puppa. So Lucky is Boo Bear's dad. Lucky died in 2017, and Boo Bear did not make it a year without his dad. I knew he wasn't going to make it. Lucky was 17, and Boo Bear was 16. And they were together since Boo Bear was 6 weeks old. So, yeah, it's my dogs. It's crazy that they're in here, but they're with me.
They live pretty long, these dogs.
Yes, they did. I gave them lots and lots of love. That's why they live so long. Lucky died in my arms, and I'm just now able to talk about it without crying. But yeah, he died in my arms of old age. And Boo Bear got really sick afterwards. He was very, very close with his dad. They were together this whole time. And he was very, very depressed after Lucky passed away. And he started having symptoms of, getting sickly and stuff. And then he came down with a dog version of staph infection. And then after that, it got worse and worse. And I spent the last month he was alive, I spent $3,000 on him trying to get him better. And then I just had to realize that, he wasn't going to get better. And so I just put my big girl panties on one day and took him to the vet and had him put to sleep because it was time. So that's what I did. I didn't even tell my husband. He was at work. He said, I thought you would have called me first or something, but I couldn't call anybody. I just had to do what I had to do. Because if I, went too into it and stuff, I just had to do it. Anyway, I didn't mean to get talking about this and start crying or anything. But
yeah, it even happens to us when a loved one passed. A broken heart is really hard on our bodies.
Yeah. when Lucky passed away, it was the first time I had a pet pass away that I had that long. And he was with me through a lot of hard times during my marriage to my ex-husband. And I can't explain the ache that I had in my chest that day. And for days after, of course, but that day, it was, you know, it was just like, oh, like I couldn't sit up. It was horrible. I mean, literally, I could feel my heart aching and breaking. It was very traumatic. So yeah, I didn't mean to get all like this, guys. Excuse me. I really miss them.
You gotta let it out, Jen.
I have their leashes over there and their harnesses are over there, and I had them hanging next to the door all this time. It's only within the last year that I finally brought them up here to my office and put them. Still have them hanging out, but there's a space by my door where I would hang their leashes and stuff, and then grab them when we're going out for a walk. So it was a huge change for me too. I mean, for 16, 17 years of my life, I was taking these two for walks 2-3 times a day. I loved it. And then I found myself like I had, you know, I didn't know what to do with myself. But anyway, I have 2 beautiful cats now, and they're just awesome. That exhausts me, letting those feelings out and letting them well up in me. I almost feel like I just want to go lay down now. But yes, they are my children. They're the fact that I have Lola and Bella now. Now Bella and Lola were totally unexpected. I did not expect to have Bella in my life, but it seems like he came into my life right at the time that I needed him, because Lucky and Boo were at the end of their lives. And without having Bella, I don't know what I would have did. So I didn't expect to have him, and I certainly didn't expect to have Lola. She was lost, and I found her, and here she is. And the thing that I don't want to go through that again, that hurt and that pain of losing them, you know, because their lives are shorter than ours, you know, and you know, Bella's 5 already and stuff. Lola's 2 years old, and I'm just like, I'm gonna have to go through this all over again. I just love these guys so much, and you know, it's tough. It's tough being human and having to find your way through all these feelings. But in the end, I would never trade it for anything. That love and that feeling that I had every day, having my my family around me. They weren't my pets. They were a part of me just as much as I was a part of them. And I got lucky at Kmart. So I was in a Kmart that was closing down. It was 2002, 3, I forget. It was closing down. Everything was 70% off. Me and my ex-husband went in there, and there's this lady in the electronics section holding this tiny little chihuahua who's shaking really bad. And she's talking to some lady, and I was like, oh my God, this dog is so cute. She's like, do you want him? I'm trying to find him a good home. And he was about 3 months old. And I was looking at him, and I'm looking at my ex-husband, and my ex-husband is just like, and I was like, sure, I'll take him. And that began my journey with Lucka Puppa, my little lucky puppy. Anyway, because I'm the lucky one. That's why I named him Lucky, because I was lucky that I found him, and he was lucky that I found him, I guess. I was really the lucky one. And then he made it with my girlfriend's dog, who was had a schnauzer. And I got Boo Bear out of the litter because he was the pick of the litter, and he came home with me at 6 weeks. And Lucky, he was a great dad to his son. I'm not supposed to be talking about this, but I got all these tabs open. All right, let's just get back on track.
But when those things happen, like suddenly, it's like a blessing, for you, Not you didn't went there to get the dog, the dog just.
Yes, it's a blessing for sure. Yeah. It was meant to be. It was meant to be, for sure. I wasn't looking for a dog that day. That's for sure. All right, guys. So we're going to get into a screen share here. I don't want to get off track too much. All right, so first we're going to take a look at this video here. So make sure you guys let me know when you can see it.
Yep.
Okay. Now this is going to be the Himalayas forming. This is jackwagon geologists, and they're 70 million years in 2 minutes. There you go. 70 million years in 2 minutes. We're going to see what we can't see with the naked eye because it takes 70 million years. And it happens very, very, very slowly. So nobody can see it happening. All right, here we go. This is the formation of the Himalayas according to jackwagon geology. This is the processes that take place here. Yeah. 70 million years in 2 minutes. And this is how they explain this. All based on the globe model, I might add. Just saying.
What's going on? That it's going down?
I think it's starting to push up now. It's like subduction zone or something, where the one plate's going to slide under the other and the other one's going to push up. Now, this is how they're saying mountains are formed, everyone. This is the Himalayas. This is what they want you to believe took place over 70 million years. Where they came up with these millions and millions of years all the time, I don't know. How they come up with it, it's like millions of light years.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, I know. Yeah, they love their CGI, yep. So, yeah, nothing to see here. It's just all natural formations. Looks like it glitched up a little. Hold on. Now, they say these things grow like, a centimeter a year. Like there's some people out there that, go and measure these things and stuff, supposedly.
Yeah.
They're still growing. Haven't seen any new mountains, but they're still growing.
No, the only new mountains is the one we made. So
So I wanted to show you guys that real quick because I thought that was just hilarious.
thanks.
This is their explanation. And the only way that they could get you to wrap your head around this 70 million years is if they show you something like this. All right, let's go. Let's close that out. No. What do we got here? Okay, yeah, this one's a good one too. Okay, so we're going to look at this real quick. Now, I have it in HD, so the quality should be really good. These guys are on an island here. Not sure where it's at, but the whole thing is a building, and it's very obvious. It says, after the ruins, we thought we were going to have an easy walk back from the other side of the mountain. However, it wasn't exactly easy, and the path was closed. But what we see along the way here, and of course I'm going to have it muted out while I play it, is a lot of brick. Not only on the ground.
Oh, yes.
It'll play for me. I'm hoping this works, guys. Hold on. We'll see what happens. Worked fine earlier.
It's what?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Shapu, I might have to send this to you if it doesn't work on my end.
Yeah, no problem.
It's not responding, and I don't want to sit here all night trying to figure that mess out. So let me send it to you, and we'll bring it right up. me see where I have it at here. I think it was on my Facebook wall. Go to Facebook. Sorry, guys. We'll figure this out in just a sec. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, so I'm going to have to send you 2 videos because if this one didn't work, then the other one's probably not going to work either. Send the messenger. Shampoo. And I'm going to send you this other one as well. And these are 2 things I wanted to show you guys before we get into the natural bricks, supposed natural bricks in Israel. All right, let me come out of my screen share. I'll close this out. So this isn't bothering us in any kind of way. Out of the screen share. Now, we don't need the volume on with this or nothing. We could just keep it off. I'll make it big screen and we could stop along the way because I make sure it's in the right quality. I think you can go to settings and make sure it's in 180 or whatever, or HD.
Yeah, I can even.
I think I already have it set on that, but
I can even put it in 4K.
Yeah, I think I had it set on 4K. That's what I was using too. All right, guys, I'm gonna make it extra big. There you go. And you have it muted, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when we get to parts where we see this guy's face and he's talking, even though we don't know what he's saying and the volume's not on, I want you guys to pay attention to what he's passing along on the side of his camera there as he's walking and talking, because there's a lot to see in this picture. I haven't figured out what island this is, but it's definitely not an island. It was a building for sure.
They say it's in Portugal.
Oh, okay, Portugal.
Look at this.
It looks like some of the pictures you were showing, Shapu.
Yes.
And for some reason, this area is closed and they think that they can't go over there, but they're going to go anyway. I don't know why they have this section blocked off, but they're going to go check it out. So it's pretty cool. Can you scroll along just to see when he starts walking? Because he talks for a minute there. Just kind of explaining some stuff, the course of their day or whatever.
Nope. Further?
Yeah, no, this is good right here.
All right.
Look at that layering right there. Pause it right there. Look at that. That's a fucking wall right there. Go back to that. Yeah. Look at that. That's amazing right there, guys.
Yeah.
Just saying. This whole thing was the building. All right, we can continue.
Where do you think all these rocks came from?
And you could tell the rocks look melted. They have a melted look to them. Which are just parts of the melted building that fell away, guys. Hey, DJ, I hope you're feeling better. I love you, girl. I'm sorry, Shapu, go ahead.
Oh, I just say I think I saw a brick.
Imagine that. Oh, well, I just saw a red brick right there.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't imagine walking on all that crap. But what's interesting is Mount Antero in Colorado, I believe, is made up of all this kind of rock talon stuff. And almost looks like a waste pile of rock like this size. There's this kind of big and small boulders and stuff.
Is it Is it like a big mountain? It's a you can go hike there.
Yeah. A lot of people find aquamarine up there.
I think
That's like one of the main locations for aquamarine. Now, what was in that building that it crystallized to aquamarine, I have no idea. But crystals form under heat and pressure, and they dig down into this mountainous melted building, and find aquamarine crystal and smoky quartz.
Yeah. And I've seen a place called like Boulder Lake. Did you ever see this place?
No.
It's like a lake, but it's only like boulders for miles. Just crazy. Oh,
Look
wow.
at that, guys. Wow. And what the hell's you're doing a waterfall way up at the top of that thing? So there you can see some construction, which is part of the building that's left right there behind him. You can almost can't tell where the mountain ends and the building begins, because the whole thing is the building, guys. The whole thing.
There's even a road.
Yep. Look, you can see the brick lines. Looks like brick right there, even right through there.
Yeah.
DJ, your dog died? When did your dog die? I didn't know your dog died, DJ. I'm so sorry. I'm going to give you a call later on, girl. I love you. So, yeah, he's walking up what looks like ruins here, okay? But like I said, this whole island mountain thing here is a mountain of melted building is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Sticking out from the water.
All these dark colored rocks, I got the same type of rocks that are half bricks, half rocks. And Mark showed a lot of them. And I've seen like a footage from India. They show the same type of rocks with bricks. It's crazy.
Have you ever heard of Black Rock Mountain in Australia?
No.
Yeah, that's interesting. Look at this. Look at all of this up here. Then we got another waterfall, and then it looks like structure up there, because the whole thing is a structure.
Yes. Oh, it doesn't show. The thing in the back, right over there.
Yeah, you can see a wall.
Yeah.
You can see the brick.
So I'll have to go check this place in Portugal.
Yeah. Yeah, I just randomly was looking at, different people's personal footage, because like I said, and those look like melted steps they're coming down, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
This could have been another one of those Tower of Babel-ish kind of places. Oh, okay, DJ, I thought you meant the dog that you have now. I apologize. Okay. All right. I love you, girl. I'm still going to call you later, though. This is cooked out path. This was all brick, just like the other end of it. You could still make out some of the brick. Yep.
Like this.
Yep. See it? Yes.
Yeah, you could see the brick lines. They don't want you to go to too much people to go there. Doesn't look so dangerous.
Yep. Look how cooked out it is there.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
What is this?
Yeah, DJ has been through it, guys. Big time. Everybody keep DJ in your prayers. I wish he would point his camera up more instead of at the path, but you can still make out brick on this path too that's all muffed up the whole way. Like here, like looking at him as he's walking there. I see they went into that side there that they weren't supposed to go. So they're keeping people out of there for some reason. I mean, I guess you might say that path was kind of janky and stuff. Enter at your own risk maybe, but yeah, it's a pretty interesting little place here.
Yes.
Just more proof. More proof.
Yeah, again. We put so much out there that it's getting crazy.
So we're going to go to the next one that I sent you. And now part of this is this guy talking a lot. So we're going to just kind of skim through where he's talking. And I want to get to the underwater scene because he's in Hawaii. And it's called the China Wall, underwater China Wall. And we're going to look at underwater meltification. So here we're going to just scroll up a ways till it gets to the part where we're kind of underwater. Just a little ways. There's a lot of chit-chatting and talking and stuff. Keep going. All right, there you go. All right. Look at this, guys.
Yeah.
You can see the brick layering, okay? You can see it just like you can see it above water. This is underwater buildings that are melted.
Yeah, you can see how flat it was, the ground.
Yep. Well, it gets really good here in a little bit. You see right angle brick everywhere.
Yeah.
on the sea floor and on the wall right there to the right and to the left actually, but yeah, you can see the right angle brick on the ground there too, right below where that guy is.
He just found a tripod.
There's this one part that's really cool coming up here. I really like it. Look at this. You could see a building with the remnants of a building under the water here, guys.
Yeah.
Look at all that. Look at that meltification.
Wow. Huh.
Look at this. Look, it looks like Jagger Cave underwater. Looks
Yeah.
like Jagger Cave, don't it?
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Look at this.
Wow.
Okay, I don't know. You have to go up further to see if there's any more underwater parts. I think there might be. There you go. Look at it, guys. Just look at it.
Nice.
Again, these are not sedimentary layers.
Oh
These are
my
brick
God.
layers. I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yes.
It reminds me, this part here reminds me of that fort in Russia that melted.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Wow, look at the layers. Look at the brick layers. You just can't unsee it. It's right there. Underwater meltology, guys. Look, above the water is the same as underneath. Yep.
China wall in Hawaii, that's what they call it.
Yep. They even call it a wall. Yeah.
Why China? Does it go all the way to China? Or what?
I do not know. I don't know. I don't know the etymology of the title. I was just like, holy crap. All I know is this is all melted buildings, and I got to show everybody this. Just look up China Wall, Hawaii, and you guys can find, maybe other personal videos of people swimming around, snorkeling and stuff. It's everywhere. Look at this. Just look at it. As above, so below. That's right, Flat Earth Nation. It's because they're in a building. Now look, stop it right there. Let's just go back a little and pause it. Look at that above the water compared to below the water. It's the same. There's no water erosion and all this stuff like that. What you're seeing right there is the same as what you're seeing underwater.
Yeah.
It's all a building, guys. And it's all melted. All of it.
There are other parts.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's any more after that, but those few parts were priceless.
Yes.
That was pretty cool too, how the water comes up through there when it
from underwater
and stuff. Yeah. But again, this looks, it's just all melted is what it is.
Yeah. I'll put the link in the chat.
Yeah, we're going to put that link in the chat for you guys. Thank you, Shapu. So you guys can get screen shares off of it or whatever. If you want to post screen shares, show people what underwater meltology looks like. And I'm going to get into a screen share and see how it goes on my end. Okay, so let's go over here. Let me know when you can see this, Shapu.
I see it.
All right. I'm going to get my chat back up here on my cell phone so I can see what's going on. All right. Here we go. All right, we got 38.
I just looked at her. That's why.
She looked at you and went,
yeah.
All right, guys. So here we are at Raman Crater. The carpentry shop is what it's called. And I'm going to scroll down here to this section because this is what I want to read to you guys. This is a guy's personal journal of going to this place here. But I just wanted to start off with this picture, which is my thumbnail. And the title for this is A Huge Pile of Natural Bricks. Okay. And we're going to see what they have to say about this huge pile of natural bricks. All right, so let's get into it. The scientific explanation for this great pile of natural bricks is that this whole hill was originally sand, and the sand was heated from below. Oh, it was heated from below? Okay. Okay, so it was heated from below and then cooled after being turned into liquid, creating these bricks. as I see them. The term carpentry was dubbed after someone decided that the brick looked like wood pieces used in a real carpentry shop. They must have never seen brick before. LOL, whatever. Regardless, the interesting thing is that this hill in this unique erosion crater is the only place in the world where these molten rock formations can be found. Really? I'd have to beg to differ because I find molten brick everywhere. But so that's what they're saying about this place. And here he just kind of goes through different locations of his journey and stuff. I'm going to drop the link to this so you can have this thumbnail picture if you want to share it at all. Copy. Go over here to StreamYard. And then we're going to get into this other website that I have that's even way more in depth. Hold on. Let me add that in there. Hopefully that goes. Okay. All right. So we're back on screen share, right? Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So let's do the background on this Ramon crater. Is located in the center of the Negev Desert. It is 40 kilometers long by 9 kilometers wide. The Ramon crater is actually a geological erosion cirque. And that's how you pronounce it because I looked it up. It's erosion cirque. So they're calling it a geological erosion cirque. Created through natural processes over a period of 200 million years. How they know this, I have no idea, and they certainly don't tell you. But they want you to think that this happened through natural processes over 200 million years. It is 400 meters deep. Its rim is 900 meters above sea level, while the floor of the crater is at an altitude of 500 meters. This vast area has many geological attractions. 2 sites are located near the main road and are recommended stops on the way to the Elate, whatever that is, or the sawmill and the colored sand park. So this is where it's located here. So you can see sawmill right here. Let me zoom in a little.
Yeah, I just want to stop you.
Yeah.
2 seconds. The link that you just posted.
Yeah.
What was it? The Raymond crater?
Oh no! Did I drop the StreamYard link in there?
You just dropped this.
Guys, don't anybody click on that StreamYard link. I'll go back and drop the other link again. I don't know what happened. Why it didn't copy and paste right. Let me see. Oh, I see what's going on. I hit I hit paste instead of whatever. I'll get it over there to you guys. But anyway, because I'm sniffing that glue, guys. All right, so here they're saying this is a natural erosion crater. And this is where the sawmill is, right here in this location where the natural bricks are, okay? And then the colored sand park is over here. So this is the area that we're looking at, and they say that this is the only location where you find these bricks. And that's a circle view of it right there. Let me scroll down a little further. The sawmill is a sandstone hill where thousands of prism-like rocks are scattered around. Well, here it is. They're actually bricks, guys. Bricks. And they say that this is a natural formation. Now, this is interesting because a lot of people ask me about Giant's Causeway and these types of supposed formations that people were thinking were actually maybe some kind of ancient plant life and stuff. Here you can actually see parts of this building still intact here. And they do kind of resemble things that you would see at Giant's Causeway and stuff, which I don't think that those are some type of, basalt columns and stuff. They don't even label this stuff basalt, but it does have that basalt column look.
Yeah.
Look at these bricks. I mean, these are 100% bricks right here. That's crazy. So this place was devastated It says, these stones were created during a volcanic eruption. Of course they were. We have a volcano that spits out bricks. Okay? Mauna Loa spits out bricks. You saw Jagger Cave. You saw all those supposed windbreakers. These stones were created during a volcanic eruption when the magma penetrated into the sandstone hill and melted the sandstone. It melted it. The liquid stone then crystallized into long quartzite forms. Quartzite is a hard metamorphic rock which originated from sandstone and concerted. What's this say? And concerted by heat and pressure. Heat and pressure. Well, we know there was a lot of heat and pressure. This is correct for sure. There was heat and pressure everywhere, but this was not formed by volcanic systems and stuff. Guys, look at the bricks everywhere. Look at this. Look at this one right here that has a bevel in it right here. Okay?
Yeah.
Perfect bricks, perfect right angle bricks that supposedly were formed from now what they're saying is a volcano. Let's go back up and look at it. The stones were created during a volcanic eruption. So this volcano spits out bricks, I guess. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, now here they have a boardwalk that you can walk over this stuff and see all the melted brick that this volcano spit out. Clearly, this is the remnants of a building or one of those places like Shapu had showed before where they used to store brick. Or they made the brick and they stored it up. Remember, Shapu, you were showing those pictures? Like these brick factories?
Yes, in South America and India. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Look, there's a brick right there on the ground. Look at it. It's right there. It's got a mortar line in it even. Okay, so then we had the colored sand section. This is a big tourist site and everything, but there's some other stuff I want to show you as we scroll down here. Supposedly you can go here with your bottle and fill up your bottle with all those different color sands and stuff like that. Now here, I want to go down here. I want to go to this Gamal Hill. We're going to check this out next. This is interesting. All right. It says a small pointed hill located near the northern rim of Maktesh Ramon, remains of an early Bronze Age civilization. So they're already admitting that there's some remains here, and they're going to hearken it back to the Bronze Age village, Bronze Age village here. So let's scroll down a little and see what we see. Okay, so we got supposed ruins here, which is all parts of melted buildings, archaeological sites and stuff. And this little area right here is where the hill is, this pointed hill that we're going to look at right here, right before this drop off right here where the cliffs are. Okay, so the large Ramon, geological crater is located in the center of the Negev Desert, having an arid climate, annual 30 millimeters of annual precipitation. The structure of the area is in anticline. What does that? Is an anticline? What does that mean? Anticline, like decline, anticline. Maybe that's why the way they're using that word. A geological fold that is convex up with a central eroded valley, drained on its eastern side. Let's see right here.
It never rains, so
right. They have all this erosion. The Maktesh is 40 kilometers long and 9 kilometers wide. Steep walls. I read all this earlier in the other post. Geological erosion cirque was created through a natural process over a period of 200 million years. The earliest layer of the Maktesh is of the Jurassic period. Geologists gotta love them, right? It is 400 meters deep. Its rim is 900 meters above sea level, while the floor of the crater is at an altitude of 500 meters. Okay, so Gamel Hill, which is what we're about to look at, was created by a volcanic eruption. It's always the volcanoes, right? Which occurred outside of the present erosion cirque. So they're saying that this is like two different things here. Okay, so Gamel Hill and its surroundings were shaped by lava flows. Okay, all right. So we got the early Bronze Age here, which would be the 3rd millennium BC, a small village of hunter-gatherers and shepherds, historians and geologists and archaeologists. I mean, really. It was located at the west foothills of Gamma Hill. A dozen or so of well-preserved structures were identified on the north side. So they're admitting here we're going to see structure. So let's scroll down and see what we see. Oh, okay. All right. A flyover view, right? We're gonna fly over this thing in just a second here. We're gonna scroll in here and take a look and see what we see. Okay.
Is that Erodian?
I know, right? It's not the greatest picture. We are definitely going to see the backside of this structure here on the other side, which is very interesting as well. But this seems to be the remains of whatever this building was still up here. And then they built a little conservation, a conservatory thing or whatever, their observation deck.
Oh, there's stairs right there.
Yeah, I know. You'll see a better picture of the stairs. I thought they looked a little janky. And up here towards this part, leading up to here, where you get up here, right here is some melted steps, but you can't see it that good in this picture. Okay, so here's the little flyover thing that we're going to do here. See if this plays for me. It's iffy. We'll see. All right. It's kind of slow going here at first, but.
No, it's good.
You know me, guys. I love drone footage, so I have to watch this real quick. Very interesting. This whole place is completely cooked out. It's desolate. It's decimated. There's nothing growing around here. Maybe a tiny shrub here and there, but basically nothing grows here. See these steps? I don't know if they made them and they're just wore out or they're just really muffed up melted steps, but they're kind of questionable right there.
Yeah.
And then there's this thing right here sticking up, which is clearly some kind of partial wall sticking up there. Look at this, guys. Look at all of it. Of course, they got the GoPro 360 or GoPro fisheye lens on here. But what are you going to do, right? All right, so you see how it goes right off down into this crater.
Yeah.
All right, so that's that. And then here in this picture, it's very interesting. It says a closer view of the hill is in the next photo. But see here, look at the ground. Oh, hold on a second. I got to scroll back out for this. There we go. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me scroll in on this one. So here we have the remnants of a wall. Looks very much like Mauna Loa kind of stuff. You'll see remnants of walls and stuff all over Mauna Loa. Look at personal hikes up to Mauna Loa. You'll be shocked at what you see. And then they put this platform on this cracked building here because clearly it's all fused together and they feel secure enough to put a platform up here. People go up here and stand up here and observe and look around on this thing that looks like it could just fall apart. But it's not going to fall apart because first off, they don't get any rain here. There's no type of erosion, barely at all. 30 millimeters of rain, 33 millimeters or something.
Yeah, 30. Yeah.
And this is fused together, all this. Okay. Here's the platform. Now here's a better look at these steps. I'm not sure what to make of them. They kind of look like they have a newish look to them. Okay, that's the one side there. Oh shit! What did I do? I think I got clicked off of it. Hold on.
Yeah, you click.
I did something. Hold on. I'll get it back. Hopefully I'll get it back. There it goes. Scroll all the way back down again. Okay, there should be some more pictures down here, I think. Okay, yeah. All right, good. All right, so this is part of that wall next to the observation deck. Look at how cooked out this wall is, guys. If you saw this underwater, they would tell you this is coral. That's what they would say this is. This thing is completely cooked out. You can see the expansion holes, the extreme heat damage here. Again, they would call this rip rock or coral if it was underwater. All right, here's the rim view. Let's look at this building over here. Look at this right here. This looks like part of a wall that may have slid down, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of just hanging off the rim there. There's another little observation platform here that they feel secure enough to go build on this thing, and people can come out here. That it's not going to, slide away or anything. This is looking down into this crater, supposedly. And over here is very anomalous, all this stuff right here.
Yeah, very structure-like.
Okay, here's the back side of the platform. But what's interesting, even though it's not the greatest picture, is down here. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at all these brick layers. It's absolutely crazy. Especially right in here. Look, all in here. You can really see it.
Yes.
It's like somebody dropped something right there. Somebody lost their bag, their hat. I don't know. Something fell. Looks like somebody lost a hat right here. Look, there's a hat right there.
Oh, you don't go to get it. Oh.
So yeah, there's that. And then there's this other picture here, which is a little bit clearer, a little bit more clarification. I can get it to clear up a little here. A volcanic eruption 200 million years ago made all this. 200 million years ago. How do they even know this? They just make up these numbers?
Yeah.
They make up millions of light years. Look at these right angles, right? Look at these straight and then right angles right here, guys. Look at that. Look at how it was melting down over itself here. Look at these bricks right here. Look. Brick, 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 brick. Looks like some brick in here. Brick, brick, brick.
Yeah.
And if I could slide it, yeah, right here, look. What's that? Boom, baby. Rectangular brick. Rectangular brick. Right there. It's everywhere, guys. Especially right here. Look at these. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just incredible. Okay, that's that. And then here they show more of like the landscape, which I'm always looking at what's on the ground here. Definitely looks like there's some leftover structure through here, all in here. As you can see, very, very little grows here. It's very arid. You don't get any rain. Let's see if we can see on the ground here. Always looking at the ground, looking at what's laying around. And like Shapu said, they like to reconstruct stuff, or they like to put stuff up like Stonehenge and stuff and say, oh, yeah, look, we reconstructed this old site. It was a Bronze Age civilization.
Yeah. So many places.
More melted structure here, melted into the ground. You can see what looks like something there in the dirt. Some foundation left over or something. Here we have this. Now they made this for tourism, saying, you know, like, oh, this, you know, they lived kind of like this. They used the stones. See, other bases of structure were reconstructed here as seen in the following photos. So they're saying they reconstructed this using what's laying around to make a perfect wall because this volcano spit out bricks. Okay. Their words, not mine.
Now they say it was like a foundation of a house or something. That's that's what they probably say.
So get some college kids to come out here and reconstruct this site, or just not reconstruct, but construct something that they can give a historical narrative to. Look at the ground right here. Let's pay attention to this, guys. This right here to me, hold on. Okay, around this rim here is constructed, right? But look at the ground right here. These look like some melted steps up in here, or some kind of flooring right here that was already there from the melt. You know what I'm saying? Can you see it, Shapu?
Yes. Yeah, it's all a melted floor.
Yeah. All brick. Look at this. Look at these bricks on the ground here. Unbelievable. All right, let's scroll down a little further. Is that a brick? Is that a right angle brick? Whoops, sorry, I pressed on my thing. I didn't mean to do that. This right angle brick right here, very obvious. This one right here is very obvious. You can even see like the white mortar line outline, especially right here. And here, let's see what we have in this pile. These bricks turn to what you call regular old rock, guys. That's what the brick turns into when it gets cooked out. Again, you could still make out right angles. Look at this. There's a right angle right here. This is, you can see this with a brick for sure. And they all bust up and become smaller, and then they're just stones. Here you can see a brick right there.
So much evidence that it's easy for us, but some people don't get it. Again.
Yeah, they don't understand how a regular old rock, any one of these rocks could be a regular old rock in your yard, okay? And I'm telling you, yes, it was brick at one time. Call me crazy, I know, but that's what it was. It's like some kind of cavity right here. I can't be sure because it's the shadowing, but I'm just saying. Definitely has a Herodium kind of look to it.
Yes. Jeez.
She's like, "Wow, give me some attention." Okay, so now we're going to look at, let me see here, drone aerial views here. Let's see what we got on drone aerial views. If I can get any of these up. She's like, hello, can't you hear me? I'm hungry.
Don't get her started.
Okay, so we got high resolution drone photos is what it looks like we have here. Let's take a closer look at these melted buildings. See if they clear up at all.
Okay.
I bet there's caves all through here. It looks like there's one right here. I could be wrong, but that looks like a pretty big one. Looks like there's holes, apertures of old archways and stuff. Let's see what we got here. Some more piles of brick laying around and stuff, looks like. All right, I don't know about this site here, but it's clearly they're saying it's some kind of old ruined site.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got? This huge mound hill kind of thing here that was clearly something else at one time. They just have a little tower up there. Look at this, guys. Look at all this over here in the picture. Okay, we saw this just a minute ago, or the other part of this site, or maybe it's another site. I don't know. But look at all this back here. Look at all that.
Oh, yeah.
It's all building. All this. All muffed up, busted up building. But the interesting thing about this is right here. This thing here goes way underground, guys. Look at this. Look at that. You can go down. That's layers down under the ground. How far down does this thing go? Look at this one here. Look at how far down that goes.
Yeah.
The whole thing is the building, guys. The whole thing. The whole thing. That's why you have all this rubble over here. Shit got blasted and muffed up. X Factor. This is what it looks like from the other side, I guess. Again, this is also very Herodium looking. If anybody's new to the channel and you don't know what Herodium is, I suggest you look it up. We've covered it many times. This looks like one of their rebuilt sites that they made up for tourism. I'm not sure here. And Odeon Mini Theater was excavated and reconstructed on the side of the Roman Cardo. So they reconstructed this, is what they're saying. Now, we don't even know if this is what it looks like. They could construct anything they want. We don't even know, guys. Look at what they did with Stonehenge. Now, look at this. Wow. This looks like it had something to do with maybe even water.
Yeah. Amphitheater.
Yeah. Okay, I think this one was reconstructed as well. It says hill.
Most of them are reconstructed in some way.
So these are all biblical sites that they're pointing out here. And we already know the Bible talks about the X Factor event left and right in there. Talks about God's judgment. Talks about melting the elements, melting the earth, melting the buildings, melting the inhabitants. God melted the earth like wax. It's all there, guys. It's all there. All right, let's scroll down a little further. Here's another site. Look at this. Melted building. And clearly it goes down underground. Oh, God, I don't know what I just did.
No, you click on the picture.
I clicked on the picture. That's what I did. How do I get off the picture? Well, anyway, let me scroll in here for a second. I thought I saw some melted steps. Yeah, look, there's steps going down into this hole. Are those steps, Chapu?
Looks like it.
They look like steps to me.
Yes.
And let's just look at this. Look at this whole thing right here and all right here. And all this is all melted, guys. You could see that it's melted. It was viscous at one time. I don't know what these two holes are for. Interesting. Now, how do I get off of this? How do I? Oh, there we go. All right. All right, here's another supposed ancient ruin. Don't know what the heck this was. Let's see what this is. To the south of the citadel is a Roman mound covered by sand dunes. Okay, so it's this one up here. 7th century citadel was constructed on the north side used by the Muslim rulers and the Crusaders to protect the harbor. That's what this is right here. So they're giving this a historical narrative that it's from the Crusader period, which would be like what, the 12th to 14th century?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So I'm going to go over to this site here. Okay. All right. So it says, let's see. This is a better view of the supposed natural bricks in Sawmill Crater, which they say is an erosion cirque, which is a natural erosion that takes place, and that these naturally formed bricks are from volcanic eruptions that took place 200 million years ago. I shit you not.
And they say that it was sand that melted and created those bricks. Imagine that.
Sand melted, got liquefied, and when it cooled off, it created bricks. Like this. Yeah.
They can make up any stories, like the video of the CIA I have. They can make stories and put them up. It's just crazy.
This is incredible. I mean, look at this one right here. Look at this one right here. It even looks like it has an S on it. There's one right here. I mean, they're perfect. Some of them have a hexagonal or octagonal type of sides to them, maybe. Look at this perfectly rectangular brick right here.
Yeah.
Look at this one. Right there. And then you go down, there's more. They're everywhere. It's crazy. Okay. Okay, so here we are on the edge of the crater. Let's take a look and see what we see. Okay. All right. Well, I see something right off the bat here. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like it could possibly be an archway right there. What do you think, Shapu?
Yes, could be a top of an archway.
Yeah, it does have that archway feel to it.
Yeah. And right below you can see the viscousness that it was still.
Yep. All in here.
Yeah.
Look, you can make out the brick. You can make it out everywhere. Everywhere you look. Wait, hold on, let me scroll out. There we go. People are walking amongst this stuff and they have no idea. They have none of us had any idea. It says Roman crater from above and below, a fascinating landscape. That's the crater. And what else do we have here? We got some bikers riding through all of the melted buildings. You can see the layering effect here. The remnants of the melted buildings. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I'm going the right way. Okay, so apparently you can rent this little thing out and hang out for the night or something. I don't know. And there was, okay, that's all I wanted to show you on that one. Now let me go over to this site here.
No, it's in Russian.
Yeah, this one's in Russian. I thought I translated it. I guess it won't translate for me.
Yeah, it's in English. It's in English, but the title.
Oh, it did translate. I hit translate earlier. View from, okay, yeah, it does. Okay, so this one's in Russia. I'm on part 7. I didn't go through all the parts or whatever, but this is very interesting too. I think you might even have shown this, Shapu, when you were showing that Machu Picchu in Russia.
Yes, it's close to a gas motel, something like this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this site as well. Now, this is Russia, not Israel, but it's all the same, guys. It's all the same everywhere you go. You got melted, muffed up buildings everywhere. The abandoned village of
Yeah, Gamsut.
Suti in Gunbatsky district of Dagestan. Okay, so it's an abandoned village. Gee, I wonder why it's abandoned. Maybe because it got X-factored? So here you can see the meltification all through here. Goes right up into what they say is the structure. The whole thing was cooked out. You can see it goes right through. They didn't come up through here and build up on top of this thing. Look at this. Now, Shapu's got really, really good pictures of this. And you can also find drone footage of this location. A flyover and stuff looking down on it. I think I have a bird's eye view of it. It's all cooked out. You can see the melted brick everywhere. Oop. Now, I don't know how much of this they reconstructed and cleaned up for tourism. Like here, you can see the wall is completely cooked out down here, but up here, it's still holding on to its integrity for the most part. It's because the heat came up from below. All right, here's looking down into it. The whole thing is the building. What they say that this is a mountain. This is not a mountain. It's a mountain of melted buildings is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go down here a little bit more. You can see how the landscape goes right into the buildings. What they would say is natural, like land, coming up, sloping up, and then you have a wall and a building. This whole thing was the building all the way down, all the way through it, all the way down in it. There's probably still tons of pockets of survival going down through here, and it probably looks like Cappadocia and Derinkuyu in Turkey.
Yes.
It's a pocket of survival there. You can see the steps are melted steps right there, melted. So they're saying the approximate age of the village is 2,000 years. That's how long it's been there before it was abandoned. I think they said originally due to some unstableness in the area with earthquakes. Some woodworkings here. And look at this, guys. I mean, this right here is the money shot. Shapu, I think you showed this picture before. You can see in this picture the heat coming up from the bottom and destroying this building, completely destroying it, is what we're looking at here.
Yes.
They did not come in here and risk their lives out on these ledges to build this stuff up here. Why would you do that? Why don't you just go down here and build, or go over here and build, or over here and build? But you're going to go climb and up this thing and just start building out on here? Look here. You can see where the heat is chewing up here. It's chewing up, and then look, pocket of survival brick. Chewing up, pocket of survival brick. And then it chews up some more, and then another pocket of survival.
Yeah.
I wish this picture was clearer, but you can see it right there. Look here, guys, okay? You can see remnants of a wall right through here. Follow my arrow up through here, all the way up to the brick that I just showed you, all the way back down, all here, and all the way down here. You can see the remnants of that wall. The whole thing is the building, guys, the whole thing. Not just some of it, not just a little bit of it, all of it, guys. All of it is the building. You can see brick right here even. And that's part of that wall that goes up here, up through here, and all the way up into this brick right here. I don't think anybody can prove me wrong on any of this stuff. I'm very confident in what I'm bringing you. Here you can see that the whole thing is the building. It's building on building on building on building on building. The whole thing is the building. It's one big building. And inside this building on building on building are all interconnected. There's tunnels and corridors and chambers and everything all down through here, guys. The whole thing is the building. The whole thing. I can't see the chat right now, guys. I don't know what you're saying, but wow, just wow. Here it is. There's another little view. Guy sitting next to a little melted brick, looking down on this whole melted building. It's all muffed up. Okay, this is an interesting thing here. Okay, because first off, you have the layering, right? We could see all the layers right here. You can still see them. Right here, perfect layering, perfect layering. And then we get up here and look at this. This is crazy looking right here, this whole ridge. It's crazy. Look at the background, guys. Look at it, just look at it. Look at these tiers coming down here. You have a tier here that drops down. Here's one. Drops down. Looks like there could even be large terraced steps right here. And these look like rock walls here in here. Like here, this looks like rock. It could be shrubbery. I don't know. It's not clear enough. But to me, it looks like it could be rock.
Yes, yes.
Huge terracing up, up, up. And then here's smaller terracing and then up to this one here. You see it all back here, guys. Pay attention to the terracing. This is all part of the melted buildings. We see this everywhere. We see the layering and we see the terracing. It's all over Italy, all over Italy, all over Vietnam, all over Korea, all over China. Everywhere you go, it's in the Grand Canyon. It's everywhere. Oh my God, what was that?
My cat, she's going crazy.
She's like,
she was banging on my guitar and now she's just running around.
look at this, guys. I don't know what this is up here, but it does look like it has a lot of little apertures and openings right all through here and in here. I'm not sure. I can't say for sure because it's not the clearest picture, but that's what they look like to me. Look at this.
Yeah, these are nice shots.
Yeah, this person's got a really clear camera, really good camera.
Oh yes, I remember this. I showed you this drone footage of this place once.
I think you did. That's why I mentioned earlier. I think you can find the drone footage for it. If anybody wanted to look it up, they could probably, do a flyover of this place. But again, here it's kind of starfort-ish looking, the way it juts out like this and cuts back. Also, it's terraced as well. It's got that terracing. So here you can kind of get an example of what the old world must have looked like, because for the most part, they used the pockets of survival and rebuilt and use it to live in. We see this in Cappadocia and other areas as well, including Italy, where you can't see any of this supposed mountain terrain. It's just building on building on building on building. This is where this terracing comes from. If you see the straight lines in these buildings, each layer going up, if all these buildings melted and crushed down on each other and stuff, you would have layering. You would have terracing.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, I just posted the link in the
Great.
chat.
Very good. All right. Now here again is an example of them refurbishing the old stuff that was here and rebuilding upon it the same way it was before the X Factor event. Building upon building upon building. Okay. They're all interconnected. You can get from one building to the other. They just wall them off probably. Okay. Again, we have this very unique terracing. Now imagine that being all melted buildings, just like that up there, except it's melted down. And now it looks like that. Okay. Just saying. Look at this. Got houses up in here. Wow. It's crazy. All right, let's see what we see here. Look at all that, guys. Wow.
That slid down.
Amazing pictures. And look at how much the foliage covers everything. I mean, there's so much we don't see, you know? If we could see without all this stuff, I mean, there's probably just openings and stuff everywhere. Look at this. Not the clearest picture. That's really melted. Wow.
Yeah.
These look like A-frames right here. Kind of A-frame-ish looking right there. A-frame, A-frame, A-frame. Just pointing that out. Look at this. It's like there used to be maybe some round windows here. I don't know for sure, but it's all cooked out. Here you can see the layering really clearly, especially up in here. And over on this side, I mean, just you can see the brick. It's right there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and then there's this.
Yes.
Nothing to see here, just a wall. It's crazy. You can see the heat expansion holes. It was extremely hot in here, guys. This whole thing is melted down and deformed. Melted the elements like wax. Again, these are not pickaxe marks. These are called heat striations. I know some people want you to believe in certain locations that they're pickaxe marks, but they're not. See how porous and spongy everything looks? If this was underwater, they would just tell you this is a coral reef or something. Be all kinds of shit growing out of it. Severe heat damage here. Remnants of a wall, it looks like there. Even though it's really extremely heat damage, you can still see the brick layers running through here,
Yeah.
on here. Wow. Really good picture. Some of them are repeats, but look at this. You can see how it was flowing down over itself here in this corner here. You see how it was flowing and running down over itself. All right. What we got here?
Great pictures.
Yeah, right? Look at this. You can see that this was a brick wall right here. You can make it out. You can even see the outline of it all the way down to here. Really good. Shit was just melted down. When you see it and it's extremely porous like this, and you got all these expansion holes, it's just like really, really cooked. That's next level heat damage. It had heat to it longer or more intense than other areas. This is a really good one, Shapu. Look at this. Look at these mortar lines running through here. Squished out mortar lines right there.
Yes. I was looking at the flat wall on top first.
Yep. You know what I want you to do while I'm doing this, Shapu, if you can? I don't know how much time I have left before I got to pick my husband up, but look up Black Rock, Australia.
Okay.
Black Rock Mountain, Australia, on Yandex or something, because I didn't want to. I did a whole live stream on this place a long time ago, and a lot of people don't know about it. Wow. Multiplied. Wow. It's crazy how cooked out this place is. Look at this. Look at how okay, this looks to me like it slid over this way. It was probably more upright. You could see, because I say that because the melt's not running down this way. The melt is running this way, as if it was upright. You see, you could see it. Right, Shapu?
Yes.
Okay, so this thing here must have been upright at one time or more level.
Yes.
And then it slid over onto itself.
Yeah.
But these layers aren't running this way. They're running that way. So same with this one right here. This was a part of a wall or something right here. It's crazy. Scroll over in here real quick. Look at that.
Yeah, there's a nice boots on the ground footage on YouTube of this place. The guy goes all through it, and it's just crazy.
All right, we're gonna have to take a look at that. I'm gonna get off these pictures here in just a minute. I just wanted to show everybody what I found on this particular site. They're just really incredible pictures. Like, look at all this, Shapu. Look at this right here. See this?
Yeah.
And then this wall right here. It's really strange. And then there's this. Nothing to see here.
Nope.
It's a giant melted building. Uh-oh. Got thunder. I don't know if you heard that or not, but we're about to get...
Yes, I did. I thought you dropped something.
Cooked out rock. All right, let me get off of this, and we're going to go into a screen share on Shapu's side and take a look at Black Rock Mountain in Australia, guys. Stop screen share.
When you're ready.
Yeah.
I think I've got the right place.
Okay, here we go.
Is that it? Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
This. What's that?
And there's a kind of like a spooky story that goes along with this place. Nobody goes near it. It's got electromagnetic strange anomalies. People go missing here. People who do get anywhere near it say they hear moaning and like weird moans and stuff coming from this pile of melted building.
Oh,
People
really?
have gotten lost in here. People who went in to look for people who got lost in here also got lost and never seen again. When you study this black rock pile of stuff, melted building, you could see that it's all melted rock.
Yeah, you can see it here in front.
Yep.
No, I've never seen this place.
The last place we were just looking at was Russia, Aurora. This here is in Australia. Look at this. Can you scroll in on this? Isn't this crazy?
I can't.
When you see it from above, it's I forget, like maybe I don't know, 14 square miles of these different piles. They're like kind of like centrally located in one area.
I'll try to find one. Oh, like this? Oh,
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Now, don't quote me on the mileage. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a 5-mile span, but this was one giant building, guys. I don't know what happened here, but it all turned to
rubbles.
Rubble, like a rubble pile.
Yeah.
So you have a video?
Not of this place, no. No, the video I was talking about, I said I've seen a video from the other place.
Oh, I got you.
The place in Dagestan, the canyon. Wow.
Now let's scroll in on some of this melted brick here.
Yeah, that's the further, the closest I can.
I got you. Again, right off the bat, in the center of the picture, I could see a right angle brick. I mean, they're everywhere, first off. There's that, but yeah. You could build a whole town with this stuff.
Yeah, but you know, it must come from somewhere. That you know, it's not the water that bring these. There's a video here.
Yeah, I don't know the geological narrative on it.
No, it's
Oh boy,
Okay.
it's getting really bad here. All right, you look through those pictures. Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back.
All right. What's that? No, I don't think it's the same place. But pretty interesting, this place. Look how smooth and cooked. You can see lines, straight lines all over it. And I can't zoom. It's called Black Mountain in Australia. And there's not so many.
All right. Do we have a geological explanation for this place at all? Let's see what the geologists say about it. What is their lame ass excuse for this place? It's probably volcanic and took 200 million years to form.
Can go see. Yeah. You want to go see on the Wikipedia what they say?
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, I remember now. It's close to Cooktown.
Oh, that's right, Cooktown. We were talking about this a long time ago. Ceiling Fan Man was on with us when we did this show. I remember Cooktown. Of course, it's near Cooktown. All right, what do they say? What else they say?
They say the absence of soil. No, not here. Natural history. Or black granite range. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, the age of the lake has been dated from 259.1 to 251.9 million years.
Does that make it more believable if they put in 0.1 and 0.9? It's like, okay, not only do you have to wrap your head around this 250 million years, 0.1, you know. Oh, give me a break.
They're precise, so it must be real.
So it took all this time to form, and it's just some natural formation. It's a little
No,
blurry.
they say it was magma again.
Of course. It's always the volcanoes.
Yeah, but when we see magma, not dry, but become rock, it's all flat and solid all together. But these ones, they create rocks and bricks. You know,
Yep.
I don't know.
I just don't know anymore. They're trying to cover their asses. That's all I know.
And they say that they are black because of microscopic blue-green algae, but blue-green algae, it's not black.
Double speak.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the story that they gave us. Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's all they say about it.
Well, there's that. You want to drop that link, that wiki link, in the chat in case anybody wants to investigate this place on their own, make a video about it. I don't know. Show pictures on it somewhere. And let me see here. What's this other one that I had? I had one that I was going to share too. Where am I? I'll have to put my links under the show afterwards, all the ones that I used in the show. But I'm going to get ready to get out of here. It is storming outside like crazy right now.
Oh,
And,
really? Yeah, I heard the thunder. Thought you dropped something.
It's raining cats and dogs. It's raining melted buildings. All right, guys. Well, I want to thank you, Shapu, for hanging out with me and helping me present tonight. And I want to thank everybody who's hung out this whole time. We still got 42 people here. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you,
I'm gonna take us out with a song tonight. Shapu's channel is linked in the description below. Please make sure you sub and bell Shapu's channel. And let me see if I can get a song ready here. Let's see what we want to do. All right, I'm going to close out with this. It's a 6-minute visual of melted buildings, guys. I love you, Shapu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jen.
All right, guys. Let it not be said that we stood by and did nothing. I love you guys, and we're out of here.